Hello everyone, this is Tina from Tina's Workshop, and I have a little something. I always say that. I was a little something different today. Well, it's a little something different. So a little while back, I went to the Dollar Tree, and just as I was browsing through the store, not actually looking for this, I happened across some paintings, for lack of a better word, that were supposed to be pieces of art you could buy and put on your wall. Well, I was kind of stumped as I looked at him, and I was, for myself personally, I mean, everybody has their own likes and dislikes. Some people might really like this, but for me, I was looking at it going, why would you want to put this on your wall? But it has potential because it looks somewhat unfinished. So I brought two of them home and thought maybe we could spruce them up a little bit. So they're wrapped in plastic. Let's take them out of this plastic and see what we got to work with. And then I'll show you when they're not reflecting what exactly they look like. Wall art. That's what the label actually says, wall art. So they do have a little thing to hang, but this was the first one I saw. And it was almost white. I mean, there's a little bit of fogginess or something, but I mean, there's hardly anything there. And I myself personally cannot imagine putting that up on my wall. And this was the other one. This one's got a little bit more going on, but it's still unfinished to me, I guess. So I thought, okay, I mean, a dollar for a canvas. I mean, that's not bad, right? And we already have a little bit of a basis to go on here. So let's take some paint and spruce it up a bit. But also to be along the lines of anybody could do this, let's buy the cheap Walmart paint. This, I think it's like $8 or something. I can't really remember now. So we just got some acrylic paint from Walmart. Basic, easy, cheap stuff. So you don't need nothing fancy. And so we're going to take that. We're going to take these. I think they even have some paint at the dollar store. They do have paint brushes and stuff there. I am going to use the brushes I have. I have nicer brushes. Um, but we're going to do some really, really basic designs and see if we can just make these a little bit better than what they already are. I don't know. We're going to try at least. So let me put you down on table cam so you can see what I'm doing, and let's get started. Okay, so here's the two paintings, for lack of better words. So you can see this one really just, it looks like somebody's done a wash to begin with, where this one has a little bit more. But I think we're going to start with this one and then we'll end with this one. So we'll set that one to the side. And here's the paints we're going to use. They actually give you a really nice variety of colors. And as I looked at this one, I kind of saw this like foggy coastal thing. So I don't want to do a whole lot, but we want enough that something shows up, and we want something simple anybody can do. So as I played around with ideas and I was looking at this, I was seeing a little dinghy, a little rowboat basically, that's kind of floating along by itself, lost out in this foggy coast. So this is my little sketch that I drew, and I want to do something like that. So it's just kind of out here, and then maybe we'll add a little bit more color behind to make it kind of pop and come to the foreground. So we'll see, but very simple, basic shapes. Actually painting it's going to be even, I know people say things like this and then they go, yeah, you say that, but I'm saying I think painting it's going to be even easier than drawing it, because when you're letting your brush do the motions, the shape is going to be much easier with the brush than it is with your pencil. So basic and simple. And I don't think I want to bring bright color. I want it to be dark and hidden in that mist, in that fog. So let's see what colors we want to use. No, I think I'm gonna bring some of these. See what's that one. It's gonna be a black, brown. To use raw umber. Not need a whole lot because we're not painting a big image. It's always good to have black and white. Basic black and white. You do anything as long as you got black and white, right? Actually, I guess the black, white, red, and blue. Right, those are your four. Black. No, that's what calling me. What we got? Primary magenta 2. Primary magenta 2, okay. And let's bring a little bit of yellow ochre. We'll grab some blue. Let's do this one. I think it's basically phthalo blue, but I can't. The big long word. I don't know. And I'll prefer to have a little stick something up here. Grab some of this one too. This is a Naples or Nepal's yellow. Okay, let's start with this. We can always grab more if we need it or want it. So this is what we're starting with. There's our palette. I don't have a whole lot. Some of these are old that you're seeing on there. Okay. Let's see. Brush do I want? Oh, I'll put this over here. I go to brush. I love this. This brush I can do just about anything with. Big enough to do big stuff, but small enough point I can do smaller things too. Let's see what other ones I might decide to use. We'll get out a little brush just in case. And what comes down? I might open up. I can use the brand new brush I used. Yeah, but it's good. Good size. Yeah. Okay. And I've got my water here with my little. See that down there in the bottom? It's. See if you can see it there. I think it was like a face scrubby or something I got, and I cut it and put it in there so my brushes can get cleaned at the bottom. I think it was another dollar store thing. Dollar store finds that you can use for purposes they're not for. Okay. You know what? I think I'm going to actually start with that brush. And I had an art teacher once, and she, well, had art teacher a number of times, but one art teacher I had that was actually in a painting class. She always told me, go darker, go darker, go darker. You can make things lighter, but go darker. I was doing a polar bear at the time, and she kept telling me it needed to be darker, it needed to be darker. And I'm like, it's a white polar bear. She's like, it's not white. And I finally started just laying in some black or something. I said, is it dark enough now? And she says, yes, now you're finally getting it. I was like, okay. So that being said, let's start with the dark. Let's go with some black and figure out where we want this little dinghy to be. And little, I do mean little. I don't want, I want it just, you get this hint of something out there. So let's see, we're going to put it right here. You guys are seeing this okay, because the lights actually make it a little harder for me. It's reflects on it. Okay. So there's our little dinghy out in the water. Basic little dinghy, little tiny dinghy. Okay, so now we want to lighten it up a little bit. And make our dinghy. Let's bring a little bit of ochre into it. I think I need to get, I was going to grab my heat gun, but it's disappeared. Did somebody steal feel, oh wait, is that it? Oh, I found it. Okay. My tools tend to disappear sometimes. I thought maybe somebody stole it, but I found it. Okay. Let's see. I am going to pause it for you guys as I heat it so that it dries. It only takes a second, but that way I don't have to try and edit out the sounds, and you don't need to see that part of me doing that, so you know that's what I'm doing. Though if you see a pause in it, I'm probably pausing it to dry it real fast. That's one of your benefits with acrylic, is the fact of the way it dries quickly as opposed to oils. But in that same sense, oils sometimes are really nice because they do stay wet longer and you can blend colors on your palette a lot better. So pros and cons to everything. But in this case, I wanted that a little bit drier so I can add color on top because it was blending in too much. So this is, let's see, hopefully this will benefit you and eat bugs because, oh yeah, that's better for you, a little bit better for me too. Okay, so now we have our little dinghy, but we also need a shadow, a little reflection in the water. Even though it's foggy, we still want to make sure we have that depth of the illusion, I don't know, words. It doesn't have to be perfect unless you had incredibly still water. You're going to have some movement of the water, which is going to make that part blurry. Okay, so now we also don't want this to have this fully straight line, like it's just totally sitting there. So let's bring in some other colors and see if we can get some little bit of a watery one. What do we do? Oh, where did that bring in just a little bit more around right to the base. You don't want to fully see where the two are shaded. Okay, how's that? We got our little beanie. Okay, so we have our little dinghy, but now it's just sitting here on the page. We need to give some more fog around it, but maybe also bring some things to the front, because I don't know if you can see there's a little bit of color back here. So maybe we can bring some of this illusion forward, but make this kind of go back. So let's see. I know what I want to do back here, and I really kind of stink at it. So I don't know. I would love to give this more of a swampy, lakey look like this one has in a sense, but instead of these bushy feels, to bring lines like tall trees, but in another sense I want this to look more like ocean, which would have nothing back there. Unless you did like a tall mast, like there was a ship back there, like a pirate ship or something, but then I think we're getting too carried away because we want this to be simple, right? So, okay. Let's see. Let's bring, get the brush wet. no, I don't want to do that one. I almost mixed yellow and blue. That would not have been good because I would have made green and I didn't want green. Okay, let's add a touch of water so this is more of a wash. We don't want it so dark that we're going to hide everything. And it looks like I'm picking up nothing, but I am. So let's see. If we can make it look like it's coming out of the fog a little bit. Okay, and then I think, let's try it again. I want to bring some more fog around it so that the back of it is almost hidden in the fog. Let's see. I'm trying to kind of go along some of the colors that are here. You can see there's some like red here and yellow, and it's also kind of green. Let's see. Let's put, no, not that much. Right. Water it down. Normally, I'm not a fan of people watching me as I work when it comes to painting and drawing and stuff because it's not done until it's done, and sometimes it can look really terrible in certain steps. And I know people are looking at it like, oh, that just looks horrible. I actually had my mom say something. I was 11 years old, and if you're one of my childhood friends growing up, you'll remember this story probably, but um, I was drawing a picture of a fire truck, and mom was watching me do it, and she says, "You can't start with the bumper." And my dad said, "Leave her alone. Just let her do what she's doing." A little while later, I came back and I had the fire truck drawn. And I mean, I personally think, even now looking back, it came out pretty good for being 11 years old. It was in our school calendar. I went to a little country school, and it was in our school calendar that year. We'd done a school calendar, and I think I had entered it in the local fair and stuff. But yeah, mom was kind of looking at it like, okay, I guess you can start with the bumper. So everybody has their own process of doing things, and as long as when you're totally done, it comes out looking the way you want it to look, then you're doing something right. So let's add a touch more green, also a little bit of black. Okay, that's a lot, but when I water it down and it makes it wash, it should be okay. And if it's too much, then we'll change it. I always think of fog as being gray or white, but you really stop and look at just about anything. There's many, many colors. Sunsets, I think, are actually really kind of fun to do because there are so many colors. It's not, oh, look at the orange sunset. There's so many other things that are in those. And you have, like, when you look at the ocean, the blue ocean, it's not really blue. There's so many other things that are reflecting in that water. On the stream or anything, all the trees and everything else that are reflecting in it. You've got colors of things in the water that are coming through. And you talk to experts and they say that a lot of the blue color you're seeing is a reflection of the sky. So anything else that's reflecting it, you're going to get colors from that too. Now I'm rolling. picking it up because there's still a reflection on here. It's a little bit harder for me. Ran out of white. There we go. So let's see what happens if we give a little bit of hope on a gloomy day. And we're going to bring in some color. Nope, you can't see that. Sorry. There we go. Just going to bring in a little bit of color up here. And it's going to wash down. The boat's starting to come out of the fog, and the sun's starting to just come in just a little bit. Not too much, just enough that we can see that the day is going to brighten up. Maybe just one beam is going to come down and light up our lower load. Bring some light to the surface. So this is not the easiest thing for you to see, unfortunately. This little yellow is not showing up on camera very well. But it is there. Bobby. Bobby. Just don't know if that's coming up for you guys. It's hard to see. It looks in my screen. It looks kind of gloomy, but there's yellow, so it kind of has that little bright light of hope. If you want to change that, I don't know how much green is right there. So that takes that. Hopefully, this is coming across well enough for you. And I think, even though I didn't do a whole lot to that, I mean, you watched me do it, that has changed that from basically a nothing image to, I don't know, a little something different. It's not perfect, but it is. It is what it is. Especially without taking too much time, because we want to have time to do this one, and I don't want this video to be super long. So this one, I want to brighten up a little bit. I want to add a little bit more green, maybe a little bit of blue up in here just to make it a little bit happier in a sense. And then I think I'm going to add a little tiny cabin tucked away in here. So let's start by bringing the colors up a little bit. So So I'm actually going to really bring the colors up, and then I can go back with a wash and bring them down again if we need to, which I'm sure we will. But I just want to bring some color up into here. And I think we're still going to kind of bring it in as a wash. So let's put some more water in here. See what I mean? I'm going for it. We're going for it here. Let's just bring a bunch right on in there. And then take our trusty little rag here. Look at that. That's already made a difference. And you thought I was going to ruin it. You know you did. You know you went as soon as I put that blue down. Okay, let's now, we're going to do the same thing again, but this time with green. So, you ready? Here we go. I'm going to stick some green down in here. Scary, scary. I just ruined it. No, I didn't. No, I didn't, people. Look at that. Oh, that's so much better already. Okay, let's do the same thing again with the blue and bring this water up. We want blue water. We don't want peaceful water. We want some pretty blue water. We want this to look like somewhere we would want to be. Amazing. It's amazing what you can do with just a little bit of that. Oh, I want some more blue. So let's do that again. So much better. I hope that shows, because that is so much better already. Okay. Oh, yes. I surprised myself with that one. Okay. Now, let's add a little bit of color right in here. Just a little bit of pop of color. Even though I would love to for you guys, I will not be making any happy little trees because even though I have watched Bob Ross a lot, and I mean a lot, through my lifetime, I've never mastered the happy little trees. Cannot make them look as good as he did. So we're just going to try and make them not unhappy trees. There we go. Just a little bit of color right in there. That brings that up. Just brightens it up a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let's make that a little bit right here. That looks like a little outcropping, something. So there we go. Okay, let's put our little cabin in. And kind of thinking right here. But I don't want it too centered. I want it off center. But I like this to potentially be a tree that is coming over part of it. And I wanted the cabin going facing this way. If I put it here, it's facing that way, and I don't, because then it's facing off the side. But I don't have that nice illusion over here. I think it's still going to go right here, and it's going to be small, so let's go with that. Again, we're going to start dark and we can always lighten up. So get that glare off. Let's see, you can still see it there. Just the illusion of a little cabin coming out from behind that tree. That illusion of a tree. Let's see. Give our tree a little bit more illusion. Little tiny cabin. Maybe our cabin should have a little tiny chimney with some little tiny smoke coming out. Let's use our little tiny brush. And add some little tiny details. Okay, now I'm going to turn it away. Nope, I did not. Okay. You guys all see my little tiny cabin? Okay. Wait, no, no, just a little bit smaller. Nope. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't know if you saw what I did, but I totally got a whole bunch of black on there. So I just tried to lift it. I'm going to dry it now and add a little bit of light back into it. So like I said, the paint, that is what I said. It is relatively easy. 2 mistakes. So bring some brown back into here. Let's bring some light wash. Now let's see if we can make some smoke to puff up out of our our chimney. Yes, I can talk. And if it comes up here, it's going to blend into the sky. There we go. There it is. So our little cabin is now hiding behind the tree. Tiny quaint little cabin. Let's see. Let's add. So let's maybe add a little pathway here. Gotta have a way to get to that. What can we use for our pathway? Use some brown. Let's lighten it up a little bit. I want to see where our path is. And I think that pathway comes out over here. I think it goes behind these and then comes out over here. So that's what I'm going to do. And from there, it could go anywhere. You can just make out a little bit of it through these bushes. It twines back there. There's our little pathway. And now that that other part has dried, we need to add to this smoke because you can't fully see it. So let's add a little bit of white. I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, please click the like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hit that notification bell if you would like to be notified when I upload videos. I try to upload once a week at least. Doesn't always happen, but for the most part, lately I have been able to get out one video a week. I've been started a podcast once a month. I've also I have my Instagram page, Tina's Workshop _YT, TikTok, Tina's Workshop _YT, and I now have a Tina's Workshop Facebook page and a Tina's Workshop Facebook group if you would like to join and just be able to chat about maybe my videos, something you've done in relation to the video, or, you know, just a safe place to talk about similar types of interests. So I think that made a difference. We lightened this up, we brightened it up, not a whole lot, subtly, and we added this cute little cabin in there. Didn't do a whole lot, just simple, just enough to make it look like there's a purpose for it. And we didn't want to do anything that was too, what's the word I'm looking for? Detailed. I was trying to do something simple that anybody could go pick up some inexpensive paint, inexpensive stuff from the dollar store, and create something they might be proud to hang on their wall. Hopefully they would be proud to hang something like that on their wall. So we now have our foggy little dinghy that's coming out with some rays of the sun coming towards it, and our cute little cabin that's tucked back in the woods. So I hope you've enjoyed this. And I hope you like how they came out. I mean, like I said, really, really simple thing, but now it could hang on the wall with a purpose. I don't know. It was just something fun to do. We'll be honest. I saw them, thought it would be fun to play around with it, and that's what we did. So anyway, we will come up with something new next week. We'll see you again soon. Bye.